Hello, my fellow Minecraft lovers. This is the first episode of surviving 100 days in Amplified Minecraft, inspired by Luke the Notable. In case you don't know what Amplified means, it's a feature on Minecraft Java Edition that was introduced in version 1.7.1, where landforms, biomes, and the size of all terrain in general is completely blown out of proportion. For example, mountains can be as high as 256 blocks and small islands are floating everywhere. Since it's really dark because of cliffs and massive overhangs, hostile mobs spawn very often, and surviving in this environment is a really hard job. Nevertheless, I'm gonna try and survive 100 days in Minecraft Amplified. For making my life even harder, I decided to play the whole game on hardcore. If I die, I'm dead, just like in real life. So, I set up a new world, set the difficulty to hardcore and activated Amplified. I spawned in an oak forest that looked quite good for starting my first day. I got some wood and made as always a small set of stone tools. Then I set out to look for some food. I started with randomly destroying grass in hopes of wheat seeds, and got a chicken following me. Suddenly, I spotted a small group of sheep and slaughtered them all, except the baby, so I could slaughter it later, and got 3 blocks of wood. Just enough to make a bed. Then I built a crappy little cave and lured the annoying chicken into it. I built a chicken pen to breed and give him some taste little baby chicks. After that, I made a small sleeping room and got to bed. When I walked out of my door on the second day, I nearly got killed by a burning zombie. The rest of the day, I flattened out the land around my cave so I could plant my wheat. Also, I built a stone wall around my house and my wheat farm so I'd be safe from hostile mobs. I chopped down some trees and got back into my cave. I had hoped that the bees would pollinate my crops, but apparently they were too stupid to fly over my 1 block high walls. The chicken had laid 1 egg that I smashed against the wall until the baby chicken came out. Then I built a small mining room and started mining down. As the morning dawned on day 3, I had a decent amount of iron and I crammed them in my furnace. I smashed another chicken baby against the wall and got hungry when I saw these tasty little brats. Then I had a good steak for breakfast, and made out of iron I found a bucket for farming my wheat, an iron sword, a helmet and an iron pickaxe. I had 2 iron left, so I also made a shield, which is one of the most useful things in hardcore mode for defending from mobs and especially creepers. And then I took my bucket and left my safe garden for getting water. The whole time I was so scared of being attacked, but my little trip was completely uneventful. I watered my crops and checked out my chickens, but they were still babies. In the last hours of the day, I built a storage room with labeled chests and 2 furnaces. Then, leaving my bed untouched, I got again into the mine, because sleeping is for losers. I dug down to height 12, because there's the highest chance of finding diamonds, and you won't believe it. Just while excavating out the height 12 room, I found 2 diamonds waiting in the wall for me. I also made a pretty long mining tunnel, but all I found was some redstone. When I came up again, it was raining outside and day 4 had started. The chickens were now fully grown, but I spent all my seeds in my wheat farm, so I couldn't force them to mate. I put my diamonds and redstone in the chest and started making my house better. Firstly, I wanted to add an extra fence to the chicken pen so I wouldn't escape. Doing that, I noticed that I had run completely out of wood. So I started a tree farm inside my house because I didn't want to go out to the scary monsters in the rain to get wood. Then I realized the trees take a long time to grow and I went out to get my crops and feed the chicken. I forced them to make babies and now I have a proud number of 4 chicken in my chicken pen. When I finished making the tree farm, it was night outside and could finally go to bed. On day 5, the weather had cleared up and the sky was as blue as Labis Lazuli. Now it was the first time for me to explore the surroundings. I left my garden and then got in again because I remembered leaving some iron in the furnace. I took it out and made me some cool boots. Then I climbed a small hill and looked at the beautiful mountains and clouds. Proud of me, I built a quick cave there to leave a mark. When I wanted to get down from the hill, I fell off a cliff and lost 2 hearts. Enough exploring for today. The rest of day 5 I spent killing the forest around me and planting flowers in my garden, so bees near my house would pollinate my crops. When night fell, I hopped into my bed and slept through the night. Originally, I had planned to chop trees the whole of day 6, but just when I had 2 stacks of oak logs, I heard a weird noise like an arriving thunderstorm, and I retreated in my cozy home as fast as I could. I decided to spend the rest of the day decorating my house and making it look somewhat better, but I didn't completely get to finish it before night came. I changed the wall to oak planks and made some floors out of polished granite. Also, I put pressure plates in the doorways because, why not? In the storage room, I added an extremely creative pattern to the ground, and that was it with day 6. Day 7 was pretty uneventful. I mined the whole day, found some redstone and replaced 4 stones in my house with polished andesite. Now I have so much cobblestone that I'm thinking of building a castle on the hill or something else epic. I'll have to be extra careful because of all our hostile mobs running around in this amplified mountains though. On day 8, I tried to find the right spot for my castle and climbed a bit bigger hill this time. Sadly, when I arrived at the top of the hill, the sun started setting again and I had to get home somehow. But I think I found the perfect spot for my epic base on a nearly 256 blocks high mountain near the hill. I decided to build a bridge just right over my home and set a water block at the end and right down to my base in the water for getting home. That's when I realized that I'd forgotten to put water in my bucket. Yes. And then it began raining and bolts of lightning wanted to burn me to ashes and I got scared and went back into my small dirt hole. From there I tried to dig my way to my base, but it was way too far away. I spent the night hiding underground until day night came. I had found water underground this night, so I could finally swim down to my base. Once I was there, I started building a safe ladder and walls around the bridge to my hill. I wanted to create a more efficient way to travel than taking a few steps out of my starter base and running back as fast as I could, and I felt like it was much easier now to achieve the goal of building an epic base on the top of a scale-limit mountain. Now I had easy access to the big hill in front of me and I could build a second ladder to climb the mountain of my dreams. But I feel like we'll need a cool MinecArt system sometime, so you guys can enjoy a ride through the amplified mountain. When I ran out of stones for walls, it already started getting dark and I returned to my base and slept through the night. The last day of this episode was pretty uneventful. When I woke up on day 10, I started the day by finishing the walls and the sides of my bridge. Now I could run at high speeds over all the sad mobs on the ground. I flattened out my hill and started the big ladder to my dream mountain. When night came, I was already at a height of 160 blocks. Then I got home, made some baby chicken and went to bed. So, that was it with episode 1 of Surviving 100 Days in the Hardcore Amplified Mountains. If you want to support this series and want to see the next 10 days, consider leaving a like on this video or hitting the subscribe button. I wish you all a good time and stay strong.